What's up, fungal associates? Welcome to Completely Arbortrary. This is the podcast about trees and other related topics. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Alex Crowson. And over there on the couch is Casey Clapp.
What color's the couch? You're leaving too much detail out.
I would say it's two-tone now.
Oh, this has elevated.
In 20 years, they'll be like, remember in season 8 of Completely Arbortrary, the couch arc?
We'll be like, yeah, that was so good. Like, that really was moving.
That was so ironically boring.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, ironically. Well, Casey.
Oh, geez, Alex.
Oh, sorry.
What? Are you okay? What just happened?
I guess I was choking.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What were you choking on?
God, this sucks. Casey, we're talking about Chokecherry.
You know, I'm going to break the fourth wall here. You cannot do that. This isn't the fourth wall. I get it. You broke the fourth wall.
Wow, you're breaking the ceiling.
Yeah. No. It never sucks, Alex. Never.
Oh, thanks.
Acting.
Well, no, I know.
Yours. Mwah.
You know what, Casey?
Excellent.
I actually thought of a great way to describe my sense of humor.
Oh, okay.
And here it is. I tell jokes as a joke.
Yes.
Like the joke, me telling the joke is the joke.
Yes, it's super meta.
Or the joke is really bad, but that's what makes it funny to me. Like the joke is the joke.
Yes.
Well, Casey, we got to talk about a tree today. And that tree, as I so subtly hinted to, is the chokeberry, the common chokeberry. And we're going to talk about this chokeberry after the break. Chew thoroughly on these ads. Welcome back to Completely Arbortrary. Mm-hmm. Today we're talking chokeberry, Prunus virginiana.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just want you real fast to just take a step back and look up Prunus virginiana real fast.
Okay.
Yeah, or you could click in our show notes there, and you could click
here
on that.
Yeah.
You might notice something.
Am I calling it chokeberry?
You are. But it is a chokecherry.
How many times did I say that?
I think I counted 3.
Fuck.
It might have been 4.
All right. Well, today we're talking the chokecherry.
No. You already did the introduction. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the chokeberry.
Prunus virginiana case. And I see this as variety virginiana as well.
It doesn't need to be.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to be talking about it quite that particularly.
Seems a touch redundant.
Yes, it does have quite a bit of that. Well, we can explain that if you want.
Well, Casey, let's imagine, as we do every episode, that you and I are, we are walking through. Could I maybe find this in Virginia?
You could find this in Virginia.
Okay. We're in Virginia. I know nothing about this state. And we find some chokecherries. Let's ID this tree.
Let's ID this tree. So this is a very wide-ranging tree. Now, I'm going to tell you what it looks like, then we'll talk about where it grows. It is a cherry tree. Now, depending on where it grows, it may take up multiple different forms. One is a tree, and that's the one we are going to be defaulting towards so that we can meet the requirements of having something on this podcast.
A stem, a crown.
A tree.
16 feet high.
Precisely. Oh, 16 feet is good. Yeah, I usually go like 15. That way it's easy to divide by meters.
Oh, sure.
It's 3, 5. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Sorry, everyone.
Embarrassing.
Alex, erase that from the record.
I guess we've both had one flub.
Yeah, well, it is 70%, and that's all we require.
That's right.
So it gets up to about 30 feet tall.
Oh.
It's not a big tree. No. 9 meters-ish. It's not giant. It
Seems
doesn't
respectable
do anything.
for a cherry.
I think it is, but honestly, with the Prunus avium, the one that we eat, so the one that makes all the delicious cherries, that is also a cherry tree, but it gets like way bigger. Like it can easily get 50 or 60 feet tall.
Avium, it's flying up in the sky.
There you go. It's called the bird cherry.
Is that really?
It is. Yeah, that's exactly the name.
Okay.
Other people call it the myrobian. No, not the myrobian. There's another name for it. I can't remember which it is, but
mitochondria.
I think it's mitochondria cherry is what they call it.
The powerhouse of the forest.
It is. It really is. Wow, very good. No, that is yes. It's named that because birds eat the little fruit. But
Sure.
birds eat a lot of fruit, so this one just got it.
Okay.
But that's where the avium comes from.
Okay.
Regardless, we're not talking about that tree.
No,
it does
virginiana.
get big. This is still respectable, though, because I think most of the time you're exactly right. 25 feet, 20 feet. Like, that's what you'd expect for, like, these kind of flowering cherries that are more of a ornamental addition to a landscape.
Okay.
as opposed to there it is just growing off the side of the forest, whatever. Those can kind of like squirrel their way up and get kind of tall because they're just like finding some light or they bend out or something. So the ones that we plant, which we do plant this one all over the place, I think you're right. I'm just agreeing with your argument for the last minute.
As is your want.
As is my want. Anyway, it's a reasonable sized tree. It gets that nice rounded crown. Nothing fancy, nothing special.
Okay.
Especially if it is one of the cultivars or one that we've grown ourselves for whatever purpose. It generally will have a single stem, a bushy, round canopy. Easy as that. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay.
At least as this one version, which is more likely this Prunus virginiana version.
Okay.
It grows more like a tree. So the bark is the other thing that is kind of like, okay. It's utility bark, but it's also like utility bark meets sandpaper.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give me much.
Nice. No.
In fact,
It's pretty unmagnificent.
it is unmagnificent in a way that kind of is a little bit angering for me because cherries, whenever I say, hey, how do you identify a cherry? I'm like, look for those horizontal lenticels. You're going to see them on all these cherries.
Yeah.
This has them, but they're not like really elongated. They're just kind of very short, like maybe a half-inch wide. They cover the tree to the point where it doesn't really look like a cherry bark, which is frustrating because it's a cherry. So you want that continuity.
Sure.
This tree kind of says, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. But instead of saying, no, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to do something bigger and better and fancier, it says, no, I'm actually just going to have like dark gray sandpaper bark. How do you guys feel about that?
It kind of half-assed it, I feel.
I think so.
Which,
Exactly. It had the wallpaper. It decided, no, I prefer the studs. I'm just going to leave it like this. So whatever.
It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, they're not. It's fine. It doesn't really get too wild. Every now and then you'll see a little crack kind of break up on it, and that's okay.
It's got some of those eyes on it.
You mean like where an old branch was or something? Yeah, it does that. It does that.
Cool.
Yeah, and that usually comes because it's not like thick bark, but it's not overly thin and it's not smooth. So it really it can get those marks because it doesn't develop big rough furrows or something like that.
It kind of sounds very generic.
It is. It's wildly generic.
It's not this, but it's not the opposite. And it's not the opposite, but it's not this.
Yeah, exactly. It is average.
Okay.
It's right down the middle.
All
It is
right.
just like, this is called a mean tree.
Okay.
So the other thing that, of course, you're going to notice is it's got leaves on it.
Cute little leaves.
You think the leaves are cute?
I think so.
What do you think is cute about them?
I like any leaf that is sort of ovate like that.
Okay.
And I also see a tiny little serrated margin.
It has a very, it's like butter knife kind of serrations.
Yes.
Where there's just 12.5 of them per inch. They're just really tiny and they are fine. Just like.
Yes, fine as in small
Yes,
and tiny.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, they are generally a dark green when they come out of their buds. But then over the course of the summer, they turn red or kind of a reddish green.
Really?
Yes, like even purplish.
Interesting. So what's happening with the chlorophyll in there?
It's still there. It just has other pigments that kind of get up there and start to reflect light as well.
Yeah.
So it is just kind of a more purplish color. And there's a lot of purple cultivars,
Sure.
like beeches have this. In fact, I just saw a European white birch with a purple leaf cultivar and a few other cherries and other species here and there.
Lots of prunus stuff is purple, right?
Not really. But
Plums
then
are Prunus,
actually
right?
now I'm just like thinking about it. Yeah, those aren't technically in Prunus. You're right. Yeah, so there is at least a few different examples. Yeah, because
Maybe
also
not a lot. But
yeah, well, I mean, pretty decent amount. Now you bring it up. Prunus seriolata also has a purple leaf variety. So yeah, okay, we're getting up there.
Okay.
We're getting up there.
Yeah, so I wonder like as the chlorophyll ages or something, it changes reflective patterns.
I don't think that's it, but I like the idea.
That's kind of like my snap take on it.
Yeah.
Which is
You know
probably
what, man? It just gets old. The chlorophyll's just old, man. And it gets red. It's
pretty cool.
It just becomes purple. So that is actually a really important note because there's a very closely related tree that you will find not with this tree, but near this tree. It's planted often. It's called Prunus patus, which is the European bird cherry.
Patus.
Yes.
Okay.
Which means historically of the Po Valley, which is a river in northern Italy.
Wow.
So it turns out that Patis, which this used to be called, this is Prunus virginiana. It used to be Patis virginiana because they had split up all the genre years and years ago. So Patis means that this used to be Patis and there's another one, but the OG one is probably this European bird cherry, and they called it Patis something. That was the genus. So everything that looked close to it, including Prunus virginiana, used to be Patis virginiana.
Interesting.
Which just means it is the little cherry tree of the Po Valley. That's what Patis means.
That's cool.
Isn't that great?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a specific epithet. Excuse me, genus.
Yeah, genus. Well done. Well done.
A regional genus.
Yes, exactly. And this is from Theophrastus himself, one of the old naturalists from ancient Greek and all that
How
stuff.
about that?
Ancient Greece, excuse me.
No problem.
So that tree, Prunus patis, the European bird cherry, looks really, 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 really similar to this tree.
Okay.
They are closely-ish related. They're in the same like subgenre. However, the European bird cherry leaves stay green. They will not turn a purplish color in the later summer and fall. They also have a different number of the famous cherry little glands that are on the leaves. You don't like
Cherry
that?
glands.
Cherry glands.
Okay. Ooh.
They are
Had a
extra.
rough night. I've got some cherry glands.
Oh, dude, you should treat that. That's rough.
My swollen plums in my cherry glands.
Yeah, he's having a hard day. Just give him some water. He'll be okay.
What is a cherry gland on a leaf?
So they are called extrafoliar nectaries.
Wow, I've heard of this. We've
Yeah.
talked about this on something else.
Probably an old cherry because they are a very good identification technique for cherries in particular.
Okay, extrafoliar
Nectararies.
nectararies.
Which means they essentially put out a little teeny tiny bit of nectar, a little sweet kind of juice. Why do they do this? I'm not really sure. But that is what they are, and they grow right where the leaf meets the petiole, the leaf blade meets the petiole.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and usually there's going to be 2, maybe 3 of them on any given cherry species.
I see it.
There's always going to be 1 to 2 on the Prunus virginiana. Versus Prunus patis has like 4 or 6
Per petiole?
per petiole, pp,
PP?
as they say.
4 to 6 PP.
Exactly.
I will say I think that these come from an anachronistic relationship.
Yeah, with what is the question?
Maybe an old insect or something.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a purple insect at this point.
Nice case.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
That was a callback.
So yes, this has 1 to 2 little dots near the where the petiole and the blade of the leaf come together. Like you said, serrated edges. Every now and then they're kind of obovate, as well as being ovate. So of course, ovate means the widest bit is near the base. Every now and then you can find one that has widest bit towards the tip.
Wait a minute. What does it mean when a leaf is like almost circular?
That is called orbicular.
Oh, right. Okay. I was mixing that up. Orbate or what is the first one?
Ovate means egg-like.
Egg, right.
So big fat bottom and a skinnier top.
My kind of egg.
That is his kind of egg. Just like the Queen song said. Fat bottom eggs. That's horrific. Freddie Mercury just turned in his grave.
Oh, well.
You keep my song out of your mouth. Yes, so if you add an OB in front of something, that flips it up.
Right.
So obovate means that it is ovate, except that it is flipped. So the petiole touches the skinnier portion, and the apex, the end of the leaf, that is wider.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, Casey, let's talk the cherry. And I would look at this and say, really?
You don't. Well, okay. Well, let's first touch on this flower. Okay.
You're calling that a cherry?
This is.
We can touch on the flower.
This is important.
That's how you get a cherry, after all.
It is exactly how you do it. This has a very long, and this is important for the subgenus Patis.
Wow.
It's got a very long raceme of flowers that come out.
I love these.
You love these flowers?
They're gorgeous.
What? How can you just flip from being like meh to just being like, wow, this is beautiful?
Well, I love these sort of I don't know, it looks very provincial to me. You know what I mean?
Provincial?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Like kind of living in an estate in the country, and these are in the garden. You know, they're like this sort of like lilac-looking flowers.
Yes, they do look like lilac. I think that's a really good description of them.
And the sort of creamy white. I really like them.
That is honestly, that does blow my mind. I would not have thought that you would have really loved them.
There you go.
Well, give us a description of it, would you?
Sure. It is a 5-petal flower, or I suppose are they called flowerets when they're on a raceme?
No. They're still flowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's got a little. It's got a little egg yolk yellow center with some stamen coming out, and a pretty tight bunch on the raceme there. Looks to be maybe 30 flowers per raceme.
There is so many. I don't think...
So many more?
No. Just so many flowers per raceme.
Oh, sure.
But I don't know if there's quite up to 30, but at least you're pretty spot on there.
Okay, yeah. It's just a little buttercup looking guy.
They're really long, and usually on the entire tree, they all come out all together. So you just have this big, like, kind of floppy racemes kind of poofing out.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they look also, if you are familiar with the California buckeye, also look really similar to that. It's long, skinny racemes. You just go poof, straight up.
Yeah, they look very... I think I look at them and I think they look very like artistic in like a Greek sculpture way.
Yeah, I can
like
totally see that.
Like an arm, like a long line, you know? It's just gorgeous.
Okay, well, I am accepting of that.
Great.
The flowers themselves are fairly small. They're packed in, but the whole inflorescence, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
Now, I will add that the flowers will have the inner surfaces of the base of the flower. It's called a hypanthium.
Hypanthium.
Yes, so it's a thing that pulls all rosaceae flowers together, is that they have kind of a cup-shaped base where all the flowers and the sepals and everything will all kind of fuse together in their respective layers. Okay. So you basically, if you look closely on any cherry, all the flowers will kind of go whoop down into a teeny tiny little cup at the base.
What is that cup made out of? Just like
it's just the flower.
Leaf matter?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's the outer calyx, that's all the sepals all fused together at the base. Just inside that, all the petals are fused at the base.
I'm imagining like a dandelion. Like it has that little hard cup on the bottom of the flower.
Yes, that's a good way to imagine it. Cool. Yeah. Different families entirely, but the idea in the kind of shape of it all exactly the same.
Great.
Yeah. So they will be glabrous inside that little cup. No hairs.
Oh.
Versus the European bird cherry, its inner surfaces are hairy.
Oh.
So there you go.
And you said these trees grow near each other, so they can be easily confused if you're...
They don't technically, but they're planted near each other often.
Oh,
and so
sure.
they can be confused in that regard.
Yeah.
Natively,
you think in a different way than I do with the word grow.
Oh,
do you know
I
what I mean?
Yes.
I think grow. I think physically, literally growing. You think are native to this area.
Exactly. Yes, I do make that distinction where they grow here is more of a native response for me versus are they planted
They're
here?
Planted
non-native.
Here. Okay, gotcha. Case.
Yes. So, but I guess you could have other things planted around here, but anyway, it's not important.
Well, let's talk about the cherry.
Let's talk about this cherry
of choke.
It is tiny. Like maybe the size of a pea.
It's like a what is that? What is that berry? I just saw him at Providor. Little
gooseberry.
Guys. Yeah, maybe.
Probably. That's what I would expect because that's what they look like to me. They are usually a very like small green color, and then as they age and mature, they become a red, then a dark red, and then black.
Wow, I don't think they look like gooseberries at all.
Oh, you don't think so? Oh,
no.
Okay. Well,
they look like currants.
Okay, currants are gooseberries.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're both ribes. They're in the same genus.
Does that mean they're the same plant?
Yes. No, technically not.
Casey's full of beans. Yes, they look like currants.
I had this discussion with someone recently, and I think we made the distinction that gooseberries grow in drier climates and currants grow on kind of wetter climates.
They look so different. Gooseberries look like a grape with no skin.
Yeah, like the color is different, you're saying?
The shape and the size and everything.
Okay, all right.
Well, no, I'm not challenging your opinion. This is just a fact.
I guess that's fair. I will. I'm just backing down because I'm not willing to have this argument right now.
Oh, sorry, Casey.
I'm leaving.
You gotta say it like the British say it. Gooseberries.
Gooseberries.
Not berries. Gooseberries.
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 Yeah, all right. It sounds like someone. I guess what is it? Isn't the wild gooseberries? No. Was that old TV show with the kid?
The wild
family?
thornberries.
The thornberries. That was it. Okay.
Thornberries.
Yeah, the wild gooseberries.
Well, Casey.
Gooseberries.
Thank you. Casey, there's little red, kind of translucent little guys.
Yep.
They look like a berry.
They do, and technically they are a drupe, but people call them berries anyway.
Okay.
Because they're like kind of so small. But yeah, berries usually have multiple seeds inside, but this is a stone fruit, just like all the other things in Prunus.
And they're also not red, I should say. Well, they have maybe a tint of red, but they're like a Merlot kind of dark
They
red.
start very red, and then they become darker and darker and darker.
Kind of a reverse leaf.
Yes, exactly.
Starts red instead of ending red.
There you go.
Really
This
makes
is
you
the thing.
think.
Well, it really does. It really does. I guess technically I actually start green first, as I said.
Yeah, that's true.
Whoops.
Oh, well.
Anyway, they are super undelicious. Don't try them unless you want your mouth to get all of your saliva sucked right out of it.
Oh.
Super sour, super astringent.
Astringent, yeah.
Yes, you gotta.
I hate that.
You have to turn them into a preserve or a thing. Like people have eaten these for thousands of years, but you have to add something else to it.
Oh, sure. You can make like a jam out of them, probably.
Yes, jams, preserves.
2 cups of sugar.
You're gonna have to add a lot of sugar.
Make anything taste good.
I have heard there are recipes out there. They're like, hey, don't add any sugar. Add some other stuff to it that sweetens it up.
Oh, sure.
But just adds the flavor. So you can like add honey or something like that.
Syrup, maple
Yeah.
syrup.
So they grow kind of all over the place. And this is the part that I wanted to come back on. There are at least 3 different varieties that we have. One that we've talked about and kind of described, the biggest one, the one that looks like a tree, Prunus virginiana variety, virginiana.
Okay.
And that is commonly known as the common chokecherry. It is the eastern variety. So it essentially grows all over the eastern United States from like Saskatchewan all the way to the coast and then all the way down through northern Mexico.
Is it also called the Eastern chokecherry?
Yeah, they just call it they call it the common chokecherry, but I
Okay.
think eastern would be more appropriate because then we have Prunus virginiana variety demissa, which is the western chokecherry.
Demissa.
Yes. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. It means drooping.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the etymology of that?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Okay, I'll give that a little Google.
Okay, yeah. So this one is much smaller, and it grows mostly as a weird shrubby thing, like a thicket-forming shrub. And you will find this all over the West. So this one is the one that is most common here in Oregon, along the West Coast, from British Columbia down again to northern Mexico. Now, there's a third variety, Alex, and that is Prunus virginiana variety melanocarpa, which is known as the black chokecherry.
This is the fun sister.
This is exactly what it is. Whenever she comes, she's already a little bit drunk on wine.
Yeah.
But not in a way that you're like, in a way that you're like, yes.
Yeah, the nieces
I'm
and
here for
nephews
it.
love her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the fun aunt.
Yeah, she's from British Columbia to Alberta, down through the Dakotas, Rocky Mountains, New Mexico, just a little bit in Oregon and California.
Okay.
That is also sometimes known just as also the Western chokecherry. So they're all kind of like intermingled. They're not even subspecies. They are just varieties.
Okay.
But generally speaking, the ones that are native to the West grow as shrubs and very like thicket-forming, like dense little half trees.
In the West, you said?
In the West.
Okay.
In the East, they become more tree-like more often. And there is one variety that you will see over all of these places all the time. That is, there's multiple ones. There's one like called Schubert or something, but that's not the important one. It's called Canada Red.
Canada Red chokecherry?
The Canada Red chokecherry.
What is this all about?
It is one of my least favorite trees.
By the way, Canada Reds are my favorite cigarette.
Yeah, I know you do smoke a lot of Canada Reds, and I've been meaning to talk to you about it. It's causing a lot of trouble.
I should go with Mexico Blacks.
Yeah, you're exactly. Oh, I drink. I only smoke Mexico Blacks, not Canada Reds. No, that's the fun ant.
Both kind of racist sounding names.
I know. You're like, what are they talking about? We're talking about smoking Canada Reds.
Yeah, and American whites. Oh, yeah.
That's melanophobia. So this is a variety, Alex, a cultivar.
Okay.
That is a purple-leafed cultivar.
Can we pause there, Casey?
Yes.
After your first sentence.
Of course.
Variety cultivar.
Yes.
2 words that mean the same thing?
No.
Variety is natural, cultivar is human-made?
Correct.
Okay, so
Well
when you
done.
say that these 3 chokecherries are varieties,
Yes.
they appear naturally that way in nature.
Exactly.
We are now talking about a cultivar.
A cultivated variety. That's what this stands
Now,
for.
what is that? That's okay. It's
Yes.
a portmanteau.
Exactly. Precisely.
Okay. Cultivated variety or a cultivar.
Exactly.
And that is a human-made thing, this Canada Red.
At least human propagated. So
Sure,
it could,
yeah.
Exactly. It could be, most of the time, it's some naturally occurring thing. Someone
Mm-hmm.
finds it. They're like, oh, sweet. Take a cutting and then propagate that out.
Oh.
That becomes a cultivar.
Now, what is the difference between that and a variety?
A variety would be like a whole population. So if you just see one tree that has one particular trait, like say one weeping
mutation.
variety, that's a mutation. That tree probably would just die naturally. It wouldn't actually create a big, like, self-sustaining population.
I see.
So you wouldn't name every tree with a little bit of variation as a variety. It's got to be one giant, huge population that's distinct that you can say that is a variety. That all those trees, they grow like that.
I see.
But then all these trees grow like this.
Okay.
But they still can interbreed. They whenever they're together, they start to throw their genes back and forth again. And the cultivated variety can be made where they find one of those weird individuals and then propagate it, name it cultivar.
Okay.
Or it could be that they are produced artificially, where you just find some trees and you plant, like, let's say 500 of them, and you want ones that grow upright. So then you select the 50 that grow most upright, breed those ones together, and then plant 50 more or 500 more, and then find the ones that are most upright of that, and you essentially breed in the traits that you want by just selecting for the trees that show those traits. Name that's a cultivar.
Now, if a cultivar, if you create a cultivar like in that scenario you just made, this is the more upright version. And then you plant that, and it starts to go like out into the wild.
Yeah.
Could it become a variety?
No, probably not, because most likely the genes from all the other native varieties that have not been bred, they would come back in and essentially mix it back down so it wouldn't be so upright. It would be something in the middle.
I see. It would get kind of like melted back into the pot.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
and in the binomial,
Yeah.
variety is VAR period,
Correct.
and cultivar is X.
No, that would be a hybrid. This is
talk about
just
hybrids, too.
yeah. Now we got to get to hybrids. I actually have a whole section of this in my book. It's out in October.
How about that?
They if on a cultivar, it's just single quotes that are not italicized after the specific epithet.
Single quotes, not italicized, capital letter.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for our tree, this is Prunus virginiana, open quote, unitalicized, Canada Red, exit quote.
Is Canada Red like a title?
It is. It's the
Capital C,
it's the
capital R?
cultivar name. Exactly. All the first names in a cultivar, all the first letters, capitalized.
And it's not italicized.
Correct.
Because it's
Not Latin.
natural.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just a
Oh, it's not
normal
Latin.
English
Sure.
word.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Thanks,
There you
Case.
go. Anytime. Time. That only took us 6 minutes, dude. That only took us 6 minutes for that
All
quick
right.
question.
Let's do it again.
All right, let's go. So this is Canada Red. If you have ever seen a small, like, poofy flower tree that you're like, oh, that definitely looks like a cherry, and then it turns purple, like hardcore purple,
Oh, wow.
really soon.
Okay.
That is a Canada Red chokecherry.
I look at this tree and I think people hate this tree. I bet.
You are in the minority, I
Okay.
think, but at least in a certain way.
I'm not saying I hate the tree.
Okay.
I'm thinking I look at it and I think other people might hate it.
Really?
Do they love it?
What gives you that? What gives you that?
It looks
clue?
like a purple leaf plum.
Oh, yes, exactly.
It
But
kind of is.
the thing is, people love purple leaf plums.
Oh, true.
That's the thing.
We're in the minority there, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. At least anyone who looks at any amount of plants, they're like, oh, this plant's beautiful. It's purple leaves and flowers. Yeah.
As Superhands from Peep Show says, people love Coldplay and voted for the Nazis. You can't trust people.
You can't trust people. Yes, okay. You know what? Add, they also plant Canada Red and purple leaf plums to that list.
So in the know, people in the arborist communities, people might not like Canada Red.
I think very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is a cheap tree because if you go through the show notes, everyone out there, you'll click on the Oregon State Landscape Plants profile, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see at the very bottom Canada Red, and it talks all about a little bit about it, and then you can click on it because it's a link, and it'll take you to a bunch of photos. Those photos show these really beautiful dark burgundy shiny leaves. They really are handsome leaves.
I think photographed correctly, underexpose this a little bit,
Okay.
and that deep red really comes out.
It really does.
But these average iPhone pictures make it look like shit.
Oh yes, and that honestly,
gray, dusty Merlot wine.
oh wow, it's been
bad.
sitting there. It's got a little layer over the top of it
Yeah.
because you left it out all night.
And you mix it in.
Yeah, I know exactly.
It looks
what you
fucking
mean.
gross.
It's awful. So that is how I feel about these trees.
Okay.
So here's the thing. This cultivar is in particular one that I hate.
Oh.
And I hate this cultivar because, honestly, the tree 50-50 anyway, because half the time it grows as some weird kind of thicket forming thing. But this is the thing. They took a perfectly fine, wild, let's not even worry about it tree. It's got pretty flowers. Okay, great. They went to cultivate.
Common chokecherry?
The common chokecherry.
Okay.
Yes, they cultivated it. They found this really beautiful, strikingly purple colored one, and they said, let's grow this. They grow it with a single stem, which is not hard to do in a nursery, but it takes with certain trees a little bit of effort. There are in fact some oak trees that want to stay as big shrubs for a long time.
Interesting.
Then after a couple decades, then they'll be like woohoo, and they'll shoot up and they'll actually grow a bigger, taller stem.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a fire resistance thing. They build up a lot of energy and then start growing up and out pretty
Okay.
quickly.
Okay.
So a lot of the ones in Southwest will do this.
Interesting.
So if you want to grow an oak tree, or you want to grow this Canada Red chokecherry, you want to grow a chokecherry as a tree, you have to kind of keep it in line for a little bit.
Okay.
You have to say, okay, you're going to start growing as a tree from day one.
A little bit of foot binding.
A little bit of foot binding there.
Okay.
So the tree starts putting up its new stems. You can get that to be, nice and thick. You can grow this tree like nobody's business. It's super cheap and easy to do. But the thing is, there are two things that piss me off about cultivars.
Wow.
One is that half the time we don't really know what their long-term dealings are going to be. We don't know if, for instance, we developed a cultivar in 1990. We have only had that tree for 35 years now? So it's kind of
Whoa.
okay, yeah, right. Sorry, Alex.
It's okay.
So you get this this tree that is only maybe a generation and a half old. And you're like, okay, not even that, 35 years. That is half of a generation of a tree.
Yeah, that's young still.
Yeah, we're planting dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds of them all over the place.
Okay.
We're like, this tree grows like this. It's really beautiful, cool. But then let that tree grow and develop, and you're going to find whatever we cultivated it for, in this case, purple leaves and probably big bodacious flowers, that comes with certain genetic baggage. And the genetic baggage that this tree tends to really have is, one, it always wants to sprout because it is a thicket-forming tree.
Oh, out of its roots?
Exactly. So if you nick one of those roots, you accidentally hit the base, it is going to start doing what so many rose family trees do, which is just sprout from the base until kingdom come.
You know what I have this visual image in my head when we talk about that, nicking a tree and it grows a bunch of foliage right there.
Yeah.
Think of you're carrying something
Okay.
and it kind of slips out of your hand a little bit. You could easily just catch it, but you kind of panic.
Okay.
And it oh shit, and it just tumbles out of control, and you end up throwing it across the room.
Yeah.
It's these trees are just you could just compartmentalize.
Yeah, I could
you
just
have that
close
built
this
in.
off.
Yeah, but no. I'm going to send out a new life just to make sure this is not this won't
freak out.
end my life. This
Yeah.
little half-inch nick in my root.
I think that is. I think that's a really good description.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, actually, I like that a lot. Where the tree, it could be cool. Instead, it panics.
Yes, yeah. It thinks it's dying because it stubbed its toe.
Yeah. That honestly, that is That's a great description of this. So the other thing that I dislike about it so much is that, well, not this tree in particular, but kind of this tree in particular, most of it is the cultivated idea to begin with. Is that the genetic baggage that comes with the fancy things that we see make the tree more susceptible to the things that in nature it's adapted against, which
fungus and
insects, any kind of like attack from anything.
Okay.
When you choose certain traits, sometimes those are really good, and hybrids often you get a certain vigor, and those trees usually grow really well. But other times, you can start breeding a tree for certain traits that end up making it super susceptible to something else. And this tree constantly has issues in so many ways. And they just are so annoying because people also think that those don't happen and no one tells you about them. So everyone's like, oh, a big purple, beautiful tree with great leaves. Yeah, let's plant it. Then you plant it all over the place. It is a very common tree here in the Pacific Northwest, certainly in Portland. And you now have a tree that is going to fall apart at some point. It's going to start sprouting up like nobody's business. It will get a bunch of ridiculous diseases, like, for instance, black knot, leaf spot, dieback, leaf curl, powdery mildew, root rot, and fire blight. Also, insects will attack it like borers, aphids, scales, leafhoppers, caterpillars, tent caterpillars, Japanese beetles. Spider mites also can be troublesome.
This has got like insane first date vibes.
Someone just, hey, what do you think? I love this tree right here. What?
It actually has aphids and ants and this and that. That wasn't an impression of you, by the way.
It was an impression of me.
No,
it was
wasn't.
Literally that. Thanks a lot, Alex.
It was an impression of Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall.
All right,
that one character.
Honestly, just so you guys know, I won't bring that up on the first date, so call me.
Some people might like that.
They might like that. Yeah, it's true.
I forgot what I was going to say originally. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Oh, so this is this is much like, you bought a really good looking car.
Yeah.
And it's just like falling apart on the way out of the dealership.
Made of as soon as you take it off the lot, you start getting problems.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And of course the nursery people don't mention those things.
No, they will be honest. They'll say, well, it could get some diseases, but they would not. It's against, you're exactly right. It's not in their favor to tell you all the diseases.
Sure.
So mostly the one that I hate about this one is that very first one called black knot. And that is a disease that this tree gets, but this variety, in my experience, tends to get it really bad. And it is almost like a...
Black knot.
Yes, a canker
K-N-O-T?
disease. Yeah. Where it looks like there is this elongated canker that looks like just a big, roughly swollen bit on an otherwise like perfectly normal growing stem. So it grows out, then it just gets like warty and awful and like swollen, then it goes right back to a tiny little stem.
Interesting.
And it will go all over all the small branches of the tree. And it affects the tree. It doesn't, it causes the tree to die back. It causes the leaves to be different colors, causes sprouts, and it just makes the whole tree look completely awful.
Bummer.
So
will it kill it?
Over
eventually?
time. Yeah, over time. Yeah, because
Okay.
it leads to some defoliation. It also stresses the tree out, so other things we'll get to it.
It's a slow poisoning.
It is, but that's the thing about cherries. You can never kill them because they always sprout back from the base.
I see. And you don't like sprouting.
I don't. No.
Why?
I like a good tree, and I know that there are archetypes of trees.
Interesting.
I do like a tree that does not sprout from the base because it looks nice.
When it doesn't do that.
When it doesn't do
yeah,
that.
sprouting looks bad.
Yeah, especially if it's a street tree. That's a little desperate, as we know.
A little clingy.
As a tree is planted like in a nice lawn or something, it's like in a nice bed. It's supposed to be kind of a pseudo kind of specimen tree, It's one tree, it's right there, it's on stage.
Yeah.
And then you just get this massive amount of sprouts. They just grow straight up from the base. It obscures the stem. It goes into the canopy. They grow off in funky directions, especially also if it happens in the canopy where you have this normal looking architecture with these like straight spears kind of shooting out strangely.
Are those shoots? Not shoots. Are those sprouts?
Yeah, those are shoots. They're sprouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they supporting the tree? Are they photosynthesizing?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of their thing. Is that for whatever reason, usually they would come from some stress response.
Yeah.
Whereas someone's like, the tree is like, something's happening. They send out these new sprouts to photosynthesize.
Emergency protocol.
Exactly.
Okay.
But see, if you're in the wild forest,
bad.
it does. It looks horrible.
Yeah.
So in the wild forest, who cares? Like, you're just going to get this little grove of small little things that are just going to sprout and shoot out, and they're just going to do their thing. You're like, okay, whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
That's what it looks like on the edge of this river or this wherever.
Sure.
This plant grows like that.
I got you. But
Nobody
this
cares.
is meant to be an ornamental tree.
Yes.
Okay.
So this cultivar in particular seems to just do it so much. And that is because, as we've discussed, this tree grows like that in half of the places that it grows. So this is a variety that's chosen to be more tree-like, of course, so they kind of were like, well, let's get ahead of that. But it's still genetically in the tree.
Yeah.
So the reason that it frustrates me is that it's a fine choice, but it's kind of one of those things where like, that didn't work really well. But we still plant it all over the place.
Sure.
And it does all these horrible things.
We put so much work into it. We might as well plant them everywhere.
We might as well try and make millions of dollars off of it.
This is the sunk cost fallacy, if I've ever heard it.
Yes, but see, this isn't the sunk cost. This is people still like it. Like you said, we are in the minority because people really like the big flowers and the purple leaves.
Do they like it?
I think they do. I think they do.
But do they?
But will you? I don't know how to tell you this, but no, you're not gonna.
All right, interesting, Casey.
Yeah.
The Canada Red.
This is the Canada Red chokecherry.
A bit of a devil. This Canada Red.
It is. It is
something.
And I get it. If you want to plant your different species all over the place, and you want to do your thing. If you want to really take care of it, totally go for it. But this is a tree that, in my opinion, it kind of exemplifies the problem with cultivars. And I think we've talked about this a few different times. Some cultivars...
You could say that about anything on this show.
That is probably true. The day that we have something new that we haven't already brought up...
Yeah.
I just am not. I guess I'm more of a purist. Where if you can grow something and you take your time, you know what? The Japanese maples and the Japanese cherries, I think, are an exception to this this ire that I hold in my heart.
They do it right over there.
They do it right. They, at least I should say, they have done it right because they have bred these things for so long, but they've given it the time to know. This works, this doesn't work. This looks better, this doesn't look very good. So they've at least figured a lot of stuff out, but they've had the time to do it. So maybe years to come, Canada Red Chokecherry is going to be refined, and we're going to be able to find the exact right amount of genes and interbreeding to get the perfect thing. I totally get it.
Also, I feel like part of Japanese culture is just like a really, really good taste in aesthetics.
High quality. Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't just be like, oh, yeah, this tree sprouts, but whatever, we're going to do it anyway. Close enough.
Minimalism and thought and thoughtfulness.
Exactly. So I think, and this is like around all different kinds of trees, is that cultivar growth is the thing that everyone wants, and they always want the new thing. It's just like any other product where they're always constantly trying to find this new, interesting variety that does that. Every now and then, really curious and interesting and fun and worth it varieties, and I'm using this in just a general sense now, are found and propagated, and that is great. I like the idea of breeding plants for certain traits.
Sure.
But sometimes it becomes just a little too commodified, where we're going to try to develop the biggest, best, most beautiful, most this plant for selling as quick as we can.
Yeah.
And then you end up just... you're putting the cart before a horse a little bit.
Sure.
Like, we're going to sell it, but we're not going to actually know what it's going to do. We think we know it. We've done a trial for like 10 or 15 years, but it's just not. It's not long enough.
This baby food could cause cancer, but it tastes really good.
Nobody has studied that yet.
Before we go to our break, I was wondering, you and I were born in the late 80s, grew up in the early 90s.
No, I mean technically
the 90s. Yeah. We were, we were preteens in the early 2000s.
So in 1989, we were 1 year old.
In 1990, we were 2 years old.
Yeah, I see where you're getting at. I see how you're counting here.
When you and I were kids, what was the new hotness tree?
The new hotness tree?
You got to be able to reverse engineer this. Like, what's in all of our parents' yards?
Yeah, right? That's a great question. Honestly, I think I would say probably the calorie pear.
Okay.
Is one of the big ones.
And our parents were freaky.
Yeah, they were, man.
They loved that calorie pear.
Let's see.
My mom is dead.
But she was freaky.
Casey.
Planted calorie pairs. We know it to be fact.
Speaking of rolling in your grave.
I think a lot of flowering trees became very popular.
Sure.
Because historically, in the, I don't know, the 30s, 40s, 50s, like that kind of era, it was fashionable to move to the suburbs and plant a big tree in your yard.
Sure.
That we talked about that actually with the purple leaf plum years ago now. That was the whole idea. Go to the suburbs, plant your big tree. Of course, that's also related to white flight and all these other big cultural issues that were happening at the time. But essentially, that was the in vogue thing to do, was have a big, giant elm tree in front of your yard or something, or in your street.
Sure.
Back in the 20s and 30s, that was a big thing about new developments. Here in Portland, it was Laurelhurst and Ladd's Addition, for example. So a lot of these big trees were fashionable, but then started to get too much work. Maybe limbs were falling. Maybe people had this. They said, I want a smaller tree.
I see.
So then smaller flowering trees became much more in vogue.
It's like more convenient.
Exactly. It's less messy. It's not going to get that big. They're worried about something falling on their house or something like that.
Yeah.
Lots of little things about tree maintenance.
Sure.
So I think that in our parents' time, it was in vogue to have little flowering trees, but they only had the older versions that we had already kind of developed. Then over the last probably 40 or so years, we just started amping that up like nobody's business.
I see.
So we started breeding trees with really strange things. We started to develop different breeding situations and technologies.
I mean, that is the course of like almost everything.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like,
totally.
Just it's tasteful and great for a little while, and then somebody realizes they can make a shit ton of money from it, and then other people follow, and it turns into McDonald's. You know?
Exactly. The big box stores are one of the big ones that I always find. Or even red maple grown here in the Willamette Valley for the East Coast is still one of the most popular trees being sold everywhere, but it's also super cheap and has that beautiful color, and they have a cultivar for every day of the year.
Wow.
You can go out and say, I want one that's purple and like this, and it grows like that, and boom, you have this one.
Interesting.
You know?
I bet in the future, here, how about this? You go to a nursery and you put on a headset, like, design your favorite tree.
Oh, yeah.
Pick a flower, and you can like choose what style and color of flower you want.
I want it to be like this. Actually, I want it to be a little smaller, but the trade-off is big. You get big flowers, but fewer. Smaller flowers, a lot more.
Sure, yeah. You gotta use your resources in the game. It's gamified.
Yeah, it is. It's totally gamified.
And then it says, all right, go have lunch and come back in 30 minutes, and your tree will be synthetically processed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here you go.
It won't be a sapling. It'll be a full-grown, 50-year-old tree.
You could plant that anywhere. Well, it has to be big enough to like have in a pot. So maybe not quite 50.
I think they will deliver.
Okay. So
on
you
a big crane.
You could do whatever size you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want.
This is the future, baby.
Yeah. Future. Easy. Price goes up. Just so you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Price is always going to go up.
Yeah.
Wild. That's exactly. Yeah. I think that is not an inappropriate, imaginative future.
Sure. Why not? at some point in the future, everything will happen.
You know?
Including us going to a break.
That'll never happen.
The future is now.
I won't let it happen. I am going to filibuster for the rest of the show.
Oh, how about this? Instead, let's go to a quick break. And when we come back, you can filibuster all you want during your review, Casey. Within reason.
All right.
We will be right back with our review of the Chokecherry.
Excuse me. It's the chokeberry. Sorry.
Welcome back. The fun and games are over. It's time for a review of the Chokecherry.
Everyone wipe that smile off your face.
And I think since we talked about it so much, we should give a specific review to Red.
Okay.
Giant.
Oh, the Canada Red.
Red.
Chokecherry specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my feeling.
All right.
It felt like the centerpiece of this episode.
Yeah, it was where I aimed all of my ire.
Sure. All right, Casey. Well, here's how it works. We're going to give some final thoughts on this tree and then give it a rating of 0 to 10 golden cones of honor. As our resident expert, we'll begin with you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. This is a tree that I would rather not see. This is a tree that I believe should be, but not around me.
Very good.
2 out of 10. This tree sucks. Don't plant it.
Oh, I thought you meant your poem.
No. Wow.
Self-rating your poem.
That was a great poem. That was beautiful. I had a nice A, B, A, B, A, B, 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 A.
Yeah. 2 out of 2?
2 out of 10. Canada Red, 0. Don't plant Canada Red. Get it out of here. I don't want it. I don't even like the flowers.
Common chokecherry gets a 2. Canada Red gets a 0.
Yes. 0.
Holy shit.
0. I'm sorry.
Has that ever happened?
I don't know. Well, that's an auxiliary rating. I don't know if that's ever happened. But of the official rating, I don't think I've given a 0 yet.
Okay.
I think I've given very, very low. I think
I was suggesting
the
that
fig was pretty down there.
True. I was suggesting that our mainline review be on the Canada Red.
Oh, okay. 1. I'll meet you in the middle.
Oh, okay.
I'll meet you in the middle.
You got a deal.
1.1 out of 10 Golden Cones of Honor.
That is ridiculously low.
Yes, I gave the 1 because the flowers are somewhat nice, kind of, sometimes.
Okay. Oh,
Also,
you were probably cringing in your boots while I was complimenting the flowers.
You know, they're not
if
bad.
only he knew.
They're not bad, but they come with the rest of the tree.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, yeah, I like your shoes, but the rest of your outfit is like really bad.
Yeah.
How much am I going to give you credit for just your shoes looking really nice?
That enormous thundercloud is so beautiful. And then 20 minutes later, you're being struck by lightning.
Yes, exactly. My compliment rescinded. So I don't like these trees. Every time I see one planted, I just am like, I lament it.
Yeah.
I'm like, there could be so many other better trees that have better attributes. Like, I think there are ones that have better flowers, better bark, better leaves, taller, don't sprout, wider, do sprout. Anything that you want, there's a better option than a common chokecherry.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that in a world where we can basically create any tree from scratch, we've chosen to create a tree with so many problems.
Yes, but I think, I don't know. I guess that's just our lot in life, right?
Yeah.
I know that there are people who will argue and say, well, you know, every tree is going to have problems. And I'm like, I totally get that. But like, this one's got a lot of problems.
Sure.
Most cherries come with a lot of problems. The only ones that don't are the wild ones that have escaped cultivation and they just crush it.
Oh.
That's great. That's because they have reverted back to their like normal genes, so they are more better equipped to survive in the real world than the artificial ones that we've bred. They have all the beauty things that we want, but don't have any of the toughness.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So I just don't like it. I just think there's always going to be a better option than this tree. Now, leave it growing out in the wild. I am okay with that. Like, if this is the wild tree, I have no comment because it's probably a shrub.
Sure.
Nice.
Nice job.
Got around that one.
All right, 1.1 Golden Cone of Honor.
Yeah, it's also invasive in Alaska, funny enough.
That is a very random fact
Yeah.
to tag on to the end of this.
I needed to because it grows everywhere in the entire continent except Alaska.
Oh.
So we planted, guess who? Canada Red chokecherry,
Oh.
and then it became invasive.
Damn.
You know what? 1.0. I'm taking that extra one.
All right, great. That's a legendary score. All right, well, listen.
What do you think, Alex?
You're an arborist.
I am.
And have been for many years.
Technically, that's true.
You have a lot of experience with different kinds of trees. And so a part of that is that you form a emotional relationship, good or bad, with these trees.
Okay.
I appreciate that you hate this tree to such a degree that it's a little funny, you know?
Yeah, your rhyme scheme really fell apart at the
I
end.
know. I bailed.
I know. I bailed.
I don't have that sort of emotion. I mean, I think it's ugly as fuck.
Wow.
I guess I'm talking about Canada Red here.
Okay.
I think it's grandma's front yard. It's like I can imagine, like, you know, you turn down that driveway on the farm, and she's got a big one of these in her front yard, and you're like, oh, this is gonna last forever being here.
I liked hanging out with my grandparents.
Well, I didn't have like a grandma.
Okay,
you know, she
right.
didn't like bake and like love on me. She was just like a cold woman in the corner. So,
You know, a squeaky rocking chair.
yeah, you know,
It's never making eye contact with you, but also is always making eye contact.
they had toys. I'm putting that in air quotes.
Okay.
Air quotes is too small a term. It was like wooden blocks for like wooden blocks that were carved in the shape of cars.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's get the toys out. And I was like 8. I was like, I have a Nintendo at home. Do you understand?
I would have liked the wooden cars.
Sure. They weren't bad. I mean, I took what I can get,
Yeah.
But I'm going to give this guy, I don't know, 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah, I have no love for it. I love the flowers. I think they're really pretty.
And that earns it.
Sure, that is extremely low, Casey.
Yeah, it is, but also extremely high.
I mean, relative to your score, it's high, but no, 3.5.
Okay.
And Canada Red, I have some principles against it. 1.5.
Whoa, wait, I thought we were doing both.
I am.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Well, I combined them. I thought you said our main one should
That's
be
right.
the
Okay,
Canada Red.
1.2. What is it? 1.2.
You're okay.
Five.
I don't know. Yeah, you do the math on that. 1.25, 0.25.
Me doing that. 1.25.
Okay, 1.25. All right, that is way better. Now I'm on board.
Okay, great.
All right, great. Yeah, the green variety. Yeah, you're fine. I'll go up on that.
Alrighty.
But we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Also, it's called Chokecherry.
Yeah.
Why, we didn't talk about why.
Well, it's actually, I'll bring it up. It's auto asphyxiation. It's how it pollinates other species.
God.
Yeah.
Casey, that was our review of the Chokecherry. It's time for a completely arbitrary AMA. If you want to ask a question on the podcast, become a Treemium member. You can support the podcast and get lots of cool things in return. If you join the Cone Club, we will send you botanical stickers every month. What does that mean? What the fuck is a botanical sticker?
Yeah, what is that?
We have an artist, a talented artist,
Okay.
draw or illustrate in some way, paint, stitch a conifer cone from a certain species, or a flower of a certain species, or an acorn of a certain species, or a leaf of a certain species.
Mostly all of the above.
True. Yeah, we have one of each. And we take that art, we get it printed in stickers here in Portland at Sticker Ninja. We send them out to our supporters in an envelope, and you can put them on your water bottle, your journal, I don't know, your friend's forehead.
You could do that, but make sure that your friend washes their forehead first to get the oils off, so
Or else it won't stick.
sticks really
Yeah.
nice. Dry it afterwards also, just obviously.
Okay, Casey, this week we got one from Brenda. Brenda says, "Hi, guys." Oh, this is a follow-up, Casey.
Oh, geez, okay.
Brenda's getting a lot of airtime here.
I don't remember what the first one was that Brenda asked.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for identifying my Iceland tree, bristlecone pine.
Oh!
Unfortunately, I went back to Icelandic name national forest, and the bristlecone pines I found before were dead.
Oh my God.
I did find pines with 2 and 3 needles per fascicle with similar gray bark that I think were mountain pines.
Mountain pine from Europe, I would assume. That's probably Pinus mugo,
Okay.
but I don't know. Mountain pine is a very generic name.
And right, yeah. And speaking of mountains, Casey, Brenda says, now I have a question. We ride mountain bikes on trails through the woods here in Michigan, and I suddenly thought, what are we doing to these trees? We ride over roots all the time. How are they being affected short and long term? My first thought was like, not at all. You're fine.
Yeah,
That's one bike.
that's one perspective.
I mean, that's one person
Okay, that's one.
going over a route.
Gotcha.
You expand that, a busy trail.
Everybody.
It could have 1,000 bikes, tires go over it in a day. Over some time, that's got to affect the roots, no?
Yeah, yes. It's mostly compaction. That's the big thing.
What does that mean?
So if you are, you got a untouched
I do know what this means.
space of land. You say, we're going to put a trail through. You dig first, and you go down, and you first disturb all the soil. Often you hack into some roots and things, and then that damages the roots, but it's just like damaging any other part of the tree. They'll compartmentalize that off. So if you like cut a root in order to make a flat trail, it'll compartmentalize off. Maybe some decay will get in there, probably, and then slowly but surely it'll go up into the tree. Most of the time, it's going to be fine. Trees, they deal with that kind of thing all the time.
Okay.
So it probably compartmentalize off the wound. Now, if there is no roots that are cut, you just say, hey, we're just going to build a little path here. We're just going to walk over it. You didn't really dig down too much. You just kind of started walking this direction and biking that direction, and everyone followed. So now you just develop this trail. That usually develops a trail because of killing the plants that are already kind of there, or smashing the soil down to the point where it gets compacted so that roots can't actually grow in it.
That's why compaction's bad.
Yes.
I know another reason.
Yeah.
Because if you compact the soil, nitrogen can't get down in there.
Actually, not so much nitrogen. You're not wrong, but it's just air. Period. So air and oxygen is one of the big ones.
It needs it needs those things.
It also needs nitrogen, but plants can't use The nitrogen in the air, they can only, bacteria has to first transition it, make it into a nitrogen, fix it in the soil.
Right.
But
wait, some trees can fix nitrogen.
But really, are they doing it?
Or is there? Do they have a contractor?
They have a contractor, exactly. So in this case, for riding your bike through something, honestly, once the damage is done, it's totally fine. What you're going to lose are all the small little roots, but if there's larger roots with bark still on it, most likely they're going to be fine. And if you have one little line of compaction, once that happens, trees will often be like, whoa, okay, I'm adapted to that. I've learned about it, and it will continue to grow elsewhere in a different way.
Okay, so it'll adapt to any compaction.
Yeah.
And that's not a huge amount of disturbance.
It really isn't. One line going right through, totally. Usually, trees are going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Now, I have noticed in some situations where it looks like the building of the trail had some amount of root death on one side of a tree, and then the tree fails, and then there's not really any roots on that trail side.
Okay.
So sometimes it can cause damage, but I very rarely notice that is something that happens because the trail is used. Usually it comes with the installation, where you first put in that thing, you cut some of those roots, decades and decades of small, very incremental decay causes the tree to end up being unstable at some point.
You are saying decay, not like I cut off your arm and you're not used to the weight discrepancy.
Oh,
so
yes,
like you start leaning one way and then suddenly like you have a back issue or something.
You know, it could be a little bit of everything. If you cut off the roots, you're going to be doing both that mechanical damage and causing the tree to no longer have roots growing in that area.
Yeah.
And no new roots will probably grow in the top soil. So it can have an effect. But it's a long-term thing because it's such a small amount. It's just like, we're going to have this little tiny thing that will end up affecting you, and no one's going to pay super close attention. Not for any necessarily bad reason. It's a tree along a trail. Nobody's out there being like, I'm watching that tree always right there along that trail. Usually the tree just keeps on kicking it. It deals with whatever happens, but it doesn't really, it's not something that is like night and day, you know?
Okay.
You'll see it over a long time.
You're suggesting that the installation of the trail, of a bike trail itself, is what it could cause more damage than people riding bikes over roots.
Yes, I think once it's there and compacted, then the tree will figure it out.
Interesting, as they so often do.
Yeah, exactly. And normally, there's going to be plenty of space around the tree that isn't compacted, like you noted, where the tree's just going to be like, yeah, whatever, I'm fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Generally.
It's just the new normal.
It is just the new normal.
All right. Well, thanks, Brenda. Thanks for the follow-up.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry to hear about those bristlecone pines.
Yeah,
That
these
sucks.
things happen.
Yeah.
They really like a very particular kind of place.
And it might not be Iceland.
It might not be Iceland. I think it probably actually gets too warm there, too humid over time.
But you know what? They tried.
They did their best, and honestly, we kill them here in Portland all the time.
Oh, yes, we do. It's like the purge up here.
Jeez, you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath.
Thanks so much for your question, Brenda. If you've got a question for us, like I said, become a Treemium member, toggle over to that AMA page and ask away. Casey, Clapp.
Alex Crowson.
Nice job today.
Hey, thank you. You too.
We each had a really big, busy morning, and I got a little worried. And you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I got worried because I was like, I'm going to have no fucking energy for recording.
Yeah.
But I used this time-tested tool called coffee.
Oh.
And I think it pepped me up a little bit.
Yeah, you look great. You look
Thanks.
wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm having that
welcome.
removed next week. My bushy tail.
Your bushy tail? All right, yeah, you probably should. It honestly doesn't work for you.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Completely Arbortrary. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
See ya. Completely Arbortrary is hosted by Casey Clapp and Alex Crowson.
Our music is by Aves and the Mini Vandals, and our artwork is by Jillian Barthold.
To support the podcast and get rewards in return, become a Treemium member at arbitrarypod.supercast.com.
Thanks for listening.